Ready to dominate Weekend League? Head on over to MaddenTurf.com for all the ebooks, tips, memberships, everything you need to start heading on that road to top 100. As always, use code CC for 10% off, and I'll see you guys on the sticks. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? Today we're going to help determine and teach you how to run all the different types of RPOs in the game. There's 3 different types, and if you want to maximize your playing ability in Madden 20, you're going to need to be able to use all 3. In order, we're going to go over peak, alerts, and reads. Pretty much in that order. So hop in, get ready, and if you need any additional help, there is a skills trainer. You can go take a look at that. But let's dive right in. So on the screen here, we see these are the peak RPOs. Peak, right? It sounds a little difficult, but we're just going to go ahead and pick some plays here. And I want to show you and sort of describe it to you. So when you are in a peak RPO, you will see someone with a P icon over them. That is the guy you are peaking at. If he goes forward, you're going to want to pass the ball. If he doesn't go forward, you're going to want to run the ball. How do you do that here? You just have to hand the ball off, hitting the A button. So we'll watch here. We're going to run a couple reps here, let you guys see it. Again, here is our P. We want to know what we're trying to do here. So he ran backwards towards the receiver. So we are then at that point going to hand it off to our running back. Let's hop into replay and check it out. So in this particular play, we were watching Levante David. He was our peak. And at the snap of the ball, we see that he is drifting back into coverage. He is not attacking, which then means we want to run the ball, as we have a beautiful, beautiful look there. If we were trying to pass the slant there, we're going right into him. We'll try the same play again. We're just going to run it a couple times so you guys can get the feel of it. Again, go to the skills trainer, go to practice mode, and see if you can pick up on these habits, because you do have to make a read on every play. Again, we see that Levante David, he jumped back into coverage a little more instead of attacking down. So we hand the ball off. Again, he's the same guy here. Bam, that time he came down and we had to pass the ball. So let's take a look at that here in instant replay. So when we watch him, he comes down and he attacks at that exact point. And so right there, if we don't hand the ball off, we don't hit anything, and then we're going to hit our receiver icon that we're looking for. The slant coming across right where he would have been in coverage, and it is open. It's not a very big gain, obviously, but we see here the Devontae Freeman, if we did hand the ball off, as bad things were happening. So on this particular play, we do not see the P showing up here. So we're going to have to make a little more of a read ourselves on what to do. And right there, I think we made the right read. The slant is wide open. You need to make a really quick determination if that running hole is going to be open or not. Right there, that backside, he came in and got us. We probably should have passed it off there. Again, when you don't have the P there, it's not telling you who to look at. It gets awfully hard, and we are getting hit by making the wrong read here. So this time, there is a P. Okay, so now that's who we're going to watch. We made the right call. It's a bad run stick by me, but nonetheless, you see that we are moving forward. We're not getting sacked. Here we have a P again. Even though he came down and attacked, I'm fine with it. The hole looks big enough to run through. That is what we were doing. So that is RPO peak. Again, go practice this. If you are going to be running RPOs, you need to go practice them beforehand, because they are all acting different for sure. Now let's take a look at the alerts. So when we get into an RPO alert, slight difference from the peaks. If you want to hand the ball off, you actually have to do nothing at all. The ball is just going to be handed off completely. If you want to pass the ball, you have to hit the passing icon for the receiver before the handoff comes, right? So you're going to see here, and you have to read the defender, but you have to read it really, really quickly. So since you don't actually have to do something, that's fine. When we see a pressed coverage on a slant here like this, it makes me think that it could be open, right? But again, by that time, the receiver is just getting pressed. There's no way to throw the ball there. So we just go for it. Here again. Bam. At that point, we hit the receiver's icon, and we actually do pass the ball. let's see if we can do some random ones, because with the alerts, there's a couple different types as well. And so how I get here is obviously this way. There's screens as well. The way you want to do screens is slightly different. You're essentially looking at a bit of a box count here, right? We have trips to the left. There's 2 defenders right in that little area. I feel like this is probably where we're going to want to hit the screen. Just pre-play. We do hit it there. Little bad blocking, but that's okay. That's how it's going to work sometimes. Again, here we've got some backed off coverage, especially by that outside cornerback. But the way the defenders are lined up a little bit better, it looks like it could be man coverage. So I'm just going to take my yards and move forward with the ball. Every single time you go through this, you want to see. So right here, again, this looks like it's probably not the best for a screen, but we're going to try it anyway here, just for the sake. Wonderful blocking by our team nonetheless, but we should have the numbers there. We have 2 blockers and a receiver. And so even right there, again, it's really hard when the numbers are getting stacked up against you. Just like that, see? You make the wrong read, things go bad. You want to run RPOs? Learn them. You gotta learn them, because if you start running them and you're doing them wrong, bad things are gonna happen. The screen one is a little bit harder for me, especially when you're playing online and you're getting a lot more adjustments. It's just gonna be tricky. People are gonna be manning up and doing different zones. So be careful when you are doing these. But nonetheless, like right here, we see that there's a bit of an opening there. No one's blocking really well. Maybe this is just a bad play. But that is how the alerts work. You want to hand the ball off. You just don't hit a button. You just do nothing, and he's going to get the ball. You want to pass the ball? Better make that decision real quick. Now we are on to the reads for RPO. We talk about RPO read. What we are really having the chance is, instead of just running the ball or throwing the ball, you can actually run the ball with the quarterback as well. So you don't have to pass it. You have to make that decision. If you want to hand the ball off, you will have to hit A. If you want to throw it to a receiver, you're going to have to hit their icon. If you don't want to do any of that and run the ball with your quarterback, you can, right? So what we see differently here is we see an R and a P. An R is our read, right? Similar to when we run triple option or read option. If the man with the R above his head follows the running back, we're not going to hand the ball off to him. If he stands backwards, that's when you want to give the ball to the running back. Then separately, our P is who we have to decide is covering the receiver's route. Again, this one is a little bit trickier because you do actually have to go through a couple progressions here. But the first case, again, it's very much like the read option or triple option here. So I should have handed the ball off there. I thought I did. A little slow on the button press there. But I want to highlight what the defender was doing that we were looking at. So we see this defender right here, right? We try to read him. He is standing still. He is watching the quarterback. We should have handed the ball off to Freeman here and had some pretty good space with some pretty good numbers there. So let's try it again. And again, I'm still learning this, right? So again, perfect. We made the right call. Didn't really get a lot of yards, but that did happen. I figure a lot of times here, maybe that's the time you want to, run with the quarterback. But if you're going to be like a lot of players this year trying to use less mobile quarterbacks, these read plays may not really be for you at all. Because if you can't run with the quarterback, that's bad. If you get hit with your quarterback, there's also a very high fumble chance this year. But nonetheless, the read play can be good, right? It seems to work out well because I think it's an easier tell if you should run the ball or not. So like right here, the game wants me to run with the quarterback, and we fumble. It's Matt Ryan. I'm not running any RPO reads with Matt Ryan. But I think you guys get the gist of it. Again, before you run any of these in games and online, please go ahead and try to learn them. You can go into practice mode like I've been doing. there is also a skills trainer. It's helpful to get the information and knowledge and probably run through it a couple of times. I did it beforehand too, because otherwise there's nowhere showing you, telling you, or teaching you how these work, to know that if sometimes you have to hit the ball to hand it, or hit the button to hand the ball off, and other times you don't. So keep it in mind, have fun with this, learn the RPOs, and let's have some fun in Madden 20. I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see you guys out there. I'm out. Peace.